Good morning, Council. It is 9 a.m. I will call this meeting to order. First item of the agenda is adoption of the agenda.
I will adopt the agenda.
Thank you, Councillor Swanson. All those in favor? Passed. Item number 3, elections. Election of Reeve. At this time, I would call for nominations for the position of Reeve.
I would like to nominate Michelle Swanson.
Thank you very much, but I'm going to respectfully decline.
Calling for nomination of the position of Reeve.
I would like to nominate Councillor Vandermeer. John, you have worked very hard to promote economic growth throughout the region, and you've worked tirelessly to bring broadband to our area that we so desperately need. So if you wish to accept this nomination, that would be great. And if so, I'd like you to present to council and the public as to why you believe you'd be the best Reeve for this term.
Well, thank you, Councillor Lang, for that. Yes, I guess the reason I would like to hold the position of Reeve is that we have some unfinished business. This council started off very effectively, I would say, the first number of months, and made some very good headway. I think that we are resuming that headway at this point in time on exactly the points you raise. We have opportunities for economic development in the region. I have worked with the CAPE organization to advance a couple of projects that would be very material to all of the West Country, Clearwater County, Rocky Mountain House, and West Central Alberta. And we had lengthy discussion and consideration of various options for broadband service in our county. And we now have a budget. We can fine-tune that budget to make it the most effective program and equip our citizens for an evolving future that is a lot different than what we saw in the past. So I would be very pleased and honored to serve in the position and carry the lobby efforts that we need to make around our communities, as well as in Edmonton and Ottawa as necessary. So that's my motivation at this point in time. Thank you.
Calling for nominations of Reeve.
I would like to let my name stand for the position of Reeve. It could be said that leaders have the confidence to stand alone, the compassion to listen to others, and the courage to make the tough decisions. And I can assure you, I've had the absolute privilege to work with a team that demonstrates that every time we step into this room. And I recognize that as the Reeve, that position is the voice of the council and the decisions that are made here. It would be my privilege to offer my services to this team as your Reeve.
Thank you, Councillor Laird. Calling for nominations of Reeve. Councillor Swanson.
Well, as indicated, this is our last year of our term. And together I feel we are going into our most challenging year yet. And I've been pleased so far of how the strength of this council and reiterate a lot of what Councillor Vandermeer and Councillor Liard has said. We have lots to, still lots left to do, and we have lots to be proud of. So in this adverse economic environment that we are going through, underlined with COVID, our constituents and our organization need certainty, and they need continuous governance. So with that, I would like to nominate Councillor Hoven for Reeve.
I accept that nomination.
Thank you. So again, I will put out officially first call for nomination of Reeve. Hearing none. Additional, second call for nomination of Reeve. Hearing no additional, third and final call for nomination of Reeve. Thank you, Council. We will consider nominations for Reeve closed.
Do they have ballots at their seats?
May I have a motion for nominations to cease? Councillor Lang? All those in favor? Passed unanimously, thank you. Pardon me? And may I have a nomination to authorize secret ballot? Councillor Duncan, thank you. All those in favor? And passed unanimously, thank you. Congratulations, Reeve Laird. At this time, we will proceed with Deputy Reeve. Calling for nominations for position of Deputy Reeve. Councillor Swanson.
Councillor Hoven.
I accept that nomination.
Thank you. Calling for position of Deputy Reeve. Councillor Lang.
And I would like to nominate Councillor Vandermeer.
I'll accept that nomination.
Thank you, Councillor Vandermeer. And, excuse me, calling for nominations of Deputy Reeve. First call for nomination of Deputy Reeve. Reeve Laird?
Sorry. I didn't.
Oh, sorry. Second call for position of Deputy Reeve. Seeing none additional, third and final call for position of Deputy Reeve. Thank you, Council. May I have a motion to cease nominations for position of Deputy Reeve? Councillor Lougheed, all those in favor? Passed. Thank you all. Nomination to destroy? I don't need another nomination for secret.
No, just count ballots.
Tracy, then after this,
What's that?
then after this I turn it over to Kathy, right?
No, you've got to swear in,
Oh, right.
yeah, you've got to swear in Kenny, and then the others that do it.
If I swear at Kathy, won't she get mad?
Come with me.
Congratulations, Deputy Reeve Vandermeer. At this time, I would like a motion to swear in the Reeve Cammy Laird. Thank you, Councillor Holven. All those in favor? Passed unanimously. And may I have a motion to swear in Deputy Reeve Vandermeer? Thank you, Councillor Swanson. All those in favor? And passed unanimously. Reeve Laird, would you prefer the Bible or affirmation? If I could trouble you, please. That's a little, I was going to say that's a little thin, but. If I could trouble you, thank you very much. I,
I,
Reeve Cammy Laird,
Reeve Cammy Laird,
do swear that I diligently,
do swear that I diligently,
faithfully,
faithfully,
and to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability,
execute according
execute according
to the office of
to the office of
Chief Elected Official, Reeve for Clearwater County.
Chief Elected Official, Reeve of Clearwater County.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you. We will get your signature later. Thank you. Deputy Reeve Vandermeer, do you prefer affirmation or the Bible? Thank you, sir. I,
I,
Deputy Reeve Vandermeer,
Deputy Reeve Vandermeer,
do swear that I will diligently,
do swear that I will diligently,
faithfully,
faithfully,
and to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability,
execute according to the office of
execute according to the office of
Deputy Chief Elected Official,
Deputy Chief Elected Official,
Deputy Reeve for Clearwater County.
Deputy Reeve for Clearwater County.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I know it's COVID.
Do we want a picture of them together to put post? Do we want a picture of them together to post?
Sure.
Yeah.
Thanks, Roger.
6 feet apart together. Apart together, 6 feet apart together, yeah.
Can we get a picture of newly elected Reeve and Deputy Reeve for the post? Just in the center here, please. That's 6 feet apart.
It's quite a start.
Congratulations.
So at the risk of throwing you right into the fire, Reeve Laird, I will now turn the meeting over to you.
So are we at the signing authority, or is that something that we do? So what we're looking for, background, does staff want to walk us through that? Basically, what it looks like is it's just approving the appropriate signing authorities.
Thank you, Reeve Laird. So this agenda is the signing authority, the staff recommendation that council appoints the Reeve, Deputy Reeve, CAO, Deputy CAO, Director of Corporate Services, Director of Planning, and Manager of Finance as signing authorities for Clearwater County in accordance with Clearwater County's signing authorities policy effective immediately. And the second motion, that council authorizes the use of a printed, lithographed, or otherwise reproduced signature of the appointed Clearwater County signing authorities. The background for consideration is the attached bylaw, signing or authorized of municipal documents, 213 subsection 1 and subsequent. I'd be glad to read through that if council wishes.
No, I don't believe we need that. So we're looking for someone to make those motions.
I would so move
Councillor.
as per staff recommendation.
Right? Are there any questions? Calling the question. Those in favor? Carried. The second motion?
I would be pleased to make the second motion
Thank you.
as per staff recommendation.
Thank you. Councillor Duncan. Those in favor? Carried. 5.1.
Item 5.1, meeting dates. The staff recommendation for council's consideration that 2020 regular meetings of county council be scheduled as follows. November 10th and 24th, December 8th, and 2021 meetings of county council be scheduled as follows. January 12th and 26th, February 9th and 23rd, March 9th and 23rd, April 13th and 27th, May 11th and 25th, June 8th and 22nd, July 13th and 27th, August 24th, September 14th and 28th, October 12th and 26th, starting at 9 a.m. in Clearwater County office at 4340 47th Ave, Rocky Mountain House, Alberta. The background is attached as per Municipal Government Act, Section 193, subsection 1 allows council to set dates for regular meetings without public notification of each of the meetings. Currently, regular meetings are scheduled every second and fourth Tuesday of each month, excepting August and December, in the office located at 4340 47th Ave, Rocky Mountain House, beginning at 9 a.m. And the schedule is attached for council's information.
All right. Would anybody like to make that motion? Councillor Swanson? Any questions? Calling the question. Those in favor? Carried. So, item number 6, and we're starting into the appointments of boards and committees. And just before we get into that, I did want to take a moment to thank this council for your vote of confidence, and I will continue to work diligently to continue to earn your support. So item number 6, 611, agricultural service boards.
Thank you, Reeve. In the essence of time, with council's permission, I won't go through the background on each and every one of these. I will go through staff recommendation, but please, that is not to circumvent anything for council. If you have any questions or wish me to go through the background, I'd be glad to. So this one, the council appoints councillors 1 and 2 to the Ag Service Board for a 1-year term effective October 27th, 2020. The second is that council appoints 1 councillor as a public member to the Ag Service Board for a 4-year term effective November 1st, 2020. And looking for council to fill in those names.
All right, do we have anybody who would like to fill these positions with their expressions of interest? Councillor Lougheed?
Yeah, I would express an interest in serving in that position.
And Councillor Duncan?
I'll express an interest as well.
Do we have any other expressions of interest? Okay. So can we get an that council appoints councillors Lougheed and Duncan to the Agricultural Service Board for a 1-year term effective October 27th, 2020? Councillor Vandermeer makes the motion. Those in favor? Carried. The other appointments we have for public members, there's a list there. Do we have anybody who would like to recommend these particular folks, public at large? Go ahead, Councillor Swanson.
I just would nominate both public members, and we go to...
There's 3.
Or sorry, oh yes, on the other side, sorry. All 3 public members for this appointment.
Okay. And I know that they have sent in their documents, so we can read that. We want to go ahead and choose one. Thank you. Yes.
Would you like to move forward to the next item?
That sounds great. So this one, we're looking for council to appoint the Reeve and all members of council to the Clearwater County Emergency Advisory Committee for a 1-year term, effective October 27th, 2020. Looking for a motion for that. Councillor Lang, you make that motion. Those in favor? Carried.
Move the Heritage Councillor appointments for the Heritage Board.
Pardon me?
Councillor appointments for the Heritage Board.
Okay. So we're looking for the two councillors for, well, one and an alternate for the Heritage Board. So are those who might be expression of interest? Councillor Duncan.
I would express an interest either as a member or as an alternate.
Councillor Swanson.
And I would be the same, so just.
Neither of us has served before. Just background, John. Did you meet last year?
Yes. Yes, I think we
Once?
only met once during the year, and, you know, there's some kind of recognition or award that has to be decided. And usually I think that's about all it is. Once a year, might be twice maximum.
Councillor.
Sure. I'll let my name stand as the councillor, please.
Okay, so we have Councillor Duncan as the councillor and Councillor Swanson as the alternate, is that? Okay, so I got that right, good. And would somebody make that motion? Councillor Lougheed, those in favor? Carried. And do we have something for the ag, right?
We do, Reeve Laird. So the motion for council's consideration, that council appoints Deborah Skeels as a public member to the Ag Service Board for a 4-year term effective November 1st, 2020.
We're looking for a motion.
I would
Go
make
ahead.
that motion, please.
Thank you. Those in favor? Carried. So we have, going back to that council appoints, we need to look for 2 public members for the Heritage Grant Advisory Committee, one for a 2-year term and an alternate for the 2-year term. We've got 3 names here. Would someone like to present the 3 names or recommend them? Councillor Lougheed is.
I would do that. I would nominate those people that have expressed an interest in filling that position.
Councillor Duncan.
Just a question on procedure here. We put down 2 names, and then the one of the most votes is the member, and the one that's the second most is the alternate. Is that acceptable?
I think that's, does the whole council agree to that?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, moving on to 614. The council would be looking at appointing all council members to the Internet Broadband Committee for 1-year term effective October 27th, 2020. Looking for a motion for that. Councillor Vandermeer. Those in favor? Carried. 615, council appoints councillors, and we're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for the Pest and Weed Control Appeal Board for 1-year term effective today. Have we got anybody who's interested? Councillor Duncan?
typically here, this would be the members that aren't members of the Ag Service Board. So that is all the, is it 4 or 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5. So I would
Five.
recommend, or I would nominate all other members of council that aren't members of the Ag Service Board. So it's councillors, or Reeve, Laird, Councillor Hoven, Councillor Swanson, Deputy Reeve Vandermeer, and Councillor Lang.
Okay, is that good with the wishes of the remainder of the council, or with all council? Okay. I'm looking for that motion.
I make that motion.
Thank you. All those in favor? That's carried. Okay. Go ahead, Councillor Lang.
I believe we're looking for 4 members and 1 alternate, and there's been 5 of us nominated for this position, so.
It's 5 members.
It's 5, there's
1,
not an
2,
alternate.
3, 4. Oh, I'm sorry,
That's
yes.
okay, thank you. So do we have the appointments for the Heritage?
We do, Reeve, Laird. So the motion before council for its consideration, that council appoints Patricia Lobley as a member, as a public member to the Clearwater County Heritage Grant Advisory Committee for a 2-year term, effective January 1st, 2021.
Looking, okay, Councillor Lougheed. Those in favor? That is carried.
Second motion, that council appoints Karen Melhaff as an alternate public member to the Clearwater County Heritage Grant Advisory Committee for a 2-year term effective January 1st, 2021.
Would anybody, Councillor Swanson? Sorry. Those in favor? Carried. Six point 1.6, that council appoints all council members to Strategic Planning Committee for a 1-year term effective October 27th, 2020. Would anybody like to make that motion? Councillor Lang? Those in favor? That is carried. Then we have that 2021 Strategic Planning Committee meetings be scheduled as follows: January 18th, April 19th, June 21, September 20th, and December 8th, 9th, and 10th, which are budget discussions, starting at 9 a.m. in the county office at 4340 47th Avenue, Rocky Mountain House, Alberta. Would somebody like to make that motion? Councillor Vandermeer. All in favor? Carried. 6.2.1, the council appoints councillors, 2 of them, to the Caroline Clearwater Intermunicipal Development Plan Committee for a 1-year term effective October 27th, 2020. Looking for interested? Okay. Councillor Hoven and Deputy Reeve Vandermeer. Are there any others? No? Looking for somebody to make that motion? Councillor Duncan. Those in favor? The next one, the council appoints, looks like 3 councillors to the Rocky Clearwater Intermunicipal Development Plan Committee for a 1-year term, effective October 27th, 2020. Expressions of interest? Okay, we have Councillor Lang, Deputy Reeve Vandermeer, and Councillor Duncan. Do we have anybody who'd like to make that motion? Those in favor? Carried. The council appoints councillors, and we need 2 of them, to the Wetaskiwin Clearwater Intermunicipal Committee for a 1-year term effective October 27th, 2020. We have, and so Councillor Swanson and Councillor Lougheed. Would anybody like to make that motion? Councillor Duncan. Those in favor? Carried. So this is where we have council appointing 3 councillors to the Municipal Planning Commission for a 1-year term effective October 27th, 2020. Have we got any expressions of interest? We've got Deputy Reeve Vandermeer, Councillor Hoven, and Councillor Duncan.
And I would be
Oh, and Councillor Lougheed. Okay, go ahead.
One of my other committees, which is the NSWA, meets that third Wednesday of the month as well, so I probably should not, that would be a conflict for me.
For timing.
And NSWA is one that's, it's not a Clearwater County position, it's a position that I ran for and was elected to there, so it's not one that we could put anybody else in here. So I will withdraw my name from this MPC.
Okay. So we have that council appoints Deputy Reeve Vandermeer, Councillor Hoven, and Councillor Lougheed to the Municipal Planning Commission for a 1-year term effective October 27th, 2020. And we're looking for a motion to that effect. Now, Councillor Swanson, those in favor? Carried. The next is that council appoints 2 public members for the Municipal Planning Commission for a 1-year term effective October 27th, 2020. I will be recusing myself. One of the applicants is my daughter. Go ahead, Councillor Swanson.
Being as how we have 2 appointments and 2 people have applied, I will just make the motion that council appoints Kim Elliott and Jennifer Melhave as the public members to the Planning Commission for a 1-year term.
All right. Those in favor? That is carried. Uh, 6.2.3, the council appoints 2 councillors, I guess 1 and an alternate, to the Subdivision Appeal Board for a 1-year term effective October 27th, 2020. Looking for expressions of interest. And Councillor Swanson, and I would let my name stand, but go ahead.
I would stand for alternate.
So we've got Councillor Swanson, and I will, I'm trying to think of the right name, I'm drawing a blank, but I will remove my name then to make it easier, and Councillor Duncan would be the alternate. Would somebody like to make that motion? Councillor Lang? Those in favor? Carried. That council appoints, and it looks like we have 4 and an alternate as public members to the Subdivision Development Appeal Board for a 3-year term effective October 27th, 2020. I'm just making sure that, so do we have anybody who'd like to suggest that we leave all names in, or Councillor Lang?
Nominate
Thank you.
all names.
Okay. So take a moment and,
Choose 5 names.
yeah, choose 5.
Should we?
And then the one with
The
the top 4 vote getters are on, and the 5th highest vote is the alternate.
Yes,
That's what we're doing? Okay.
yes.
Just a quick question. Would it be easier if we... No? Okay.
Thank you.
So I'm just needing a little bit of clarification. That council appoints councillor, it would be Councillor Swanson as SDAB chair and Councillor Duncan as SDAB vice chair for a one-year term. Yeah, I believe that we would need, okay. Just to be clear, we'll just vote on it. Those in favor? Carried. And that council appoints Christine Haggard as SDAB clerk and Alana McLean and Tracy Haight as alternate SDAB clerks for a one-year term effective October 27th, 2020. Oh, no, it's good. Councillor Lougheed. Those in favor? Carried. We're on to 6.3.1. The council appoints, looks like 2 to the Regional Emergency Advisory Committee for a one-year term effective October 27th, 2020. Looking for expressions of interest. Councillor Lougheed. And I would also be interested in that one. Do we have any others? Okay. Looking for a motion. Councillor Swanson. Those in favor? Carried. We're up to 6.3.2. Oh, sorry.
Excuse me, Reeve Laird. If it pleases Councillor, CAO Rick Emmons will go through the background on these because they're new committees, first time.
That would be very great. Maybe everybody'd like to get a coffee for a moment. right. We're looking for the results for the 4 members and the alternate for the Subdivision Appeal Board for a 3-year term effective October 27th, 2020.
So the motion before council, that council appoints Marianne Cole, Rick Courier, Dick Wyminga, and Earl Graham as the public members, with Pat Butler as the alternate member to the Subdivision Development Appeal Board for a 3-year term effective October 27th, 2020.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to that effect? Councillor Duncan. Those in favor? That is carried. We are up to agenda item 6.3.2. Perhaps staff could walk us through this. There's some new boards here.
Thank you, Reeve Laird. So a little bit of background on this one. This is new committees for council's consideration, and it's in direct correlation to recent legislation regarding the ICFs, which is the Intermunicipal Collaboration Committees required through the Intermunicipal Collaboration Frameworks that are legislated to all bordering municipalities. So this is the committee that supports the ICFs. As council's aware, we had a number of ICFs. Memory goes 12, and so additionally we have 12 new committees to contend with. So I will turn it back over to Chair.
Okay. Well, so much for us cutting these back a little bit. We've got a little bit more now. We're looking first for 2 councillors to the Bighorn Clearwater Intermunicipal Collaboration Committee for a 1-year term starting today. Councillor Hoven and Councillor Duncan. Somebody like to make that motion? Councillor Swanson makes that motion. Those in favor? That is carried. The next one is the Brazo Clearwater Intermunicipal Collaboration Committee for a 1-year term effective today. I have Councillor Swanson and Councillor Lang. And have we got anybody who would like to make that motion? Deputy Reeve Vandermeer. Those in favor? Carried. The next one is Reeve and Councillor to the Caroline Clearwater Intermunicipal Collaboration Committee. So just looking for which councillor? Deputy Reeve Vandermeer. Any others? No. Those in favor? Oh, I need somebody to make the motion, sorry. Thank you. Too many, and now we'll try that again. Those in favor? That council appoints 2 councillors to the Lacombe and the Clearwater Intermunicipal Collaboration Committee effective today. That is one I'm also interested in, but Councillor Lougheed.
I would express an interest.
Okay, Councillor Swanson, okay. Okay, and thank you. And would somebody like to make that motion? Those in favor? Carried. That council appoints the Reeve to the Burnt Stick Community and Clearwater Intermunicipal Collaboration Committee for a 1-year term effective today. Looking for a motion to that effect. Councillor Lougheed. Those in favor? And that is carried. That council appoints 2 councillors to Mountain View Clearwater Intermunicipal Collaboration Committee for a 1-year term effective today. Okay, Councillor Hoven and Councillor Duncan. Looking for a motion to that effect. Councillor Lang. Those in favor? That's carried. That council appoints 2 councillors to the Ponoka and Clearwater Intermunicipal Collaboration Committee for a 1-year term, effective today. Councillor Swanson is expression of interest, and that is one that I would also, given that it's edging my division. Can we have a motion to that effect? Thank you, Councillor Duncan. All in favor? That is carried. The council appoints 2 councillors to the Red Deer Clearwater Intermunicipal Collaboration Committee for a 1-year term, effective October 27th, 2020. Councillor Vandermeer, Deputy Reeve, sorry, I'll get used to the new titles, I promise. And anybody else? Councillor Swanson? Somebody like to make a motion to that effect? Councillor Lang. Those in favor? That is carried. That council appoints councillors, 2 of them, to Yellowhead and Clearwater Intermunicipal Collaboration Committee for a 1-year term effective October 27th, 2020. Councillor Lang has shown interest. And Councillor Duncan, looking for a motion to that effect. Councillor Duncan? Those in favor? That is carried. Okay, wow, there we go. Next agenda item is 6.3.3. The council appoints the Reeve and then 2 councillors as an alternate to the Intermunicipal Collaboration Committee for a 1-year term. I'm hoping I captured that correctly. Starting effective today. So, okay. Councillor Lang.
I would let mine stand as alternate.
So that council appoints the Reeve and Councillor Lang and Councillor Lougheed as the alternate to the Intermunicipal Collaboration Committee for a 1-year term effective October 27th, 2020. Looking for somebody to make that motion. Councillor Hoven, okay. All in favor? That is carried. .3.4, the council appoints 1 councillor to the Caroline Municipal Library Board for a 1-year term effective October 27th, 2020. Councillor Hoven, would somebody like to make that motion? Councillor Swanson, all in favor? That is carried. That council appoints 1 councillor to the Rocky Mountain House Library Board for a 1-year term effective October 27th, 2020. I've historically provided that, but if somebody else is interested, I'm happy to let them put their name forward.
30 monthly meetings?
Yes, in the evening,
Which evening?
Wednesday.
Wednesday? Oh, that conflicts, sorry.
Well, I can leave my name on it, and if it becomes a problem, I can bring it back to council, I assume. Okay, thank you to staff to clarify that. All right, looking for a motion that I would let my name stand for the Rocky Library Board for a 1-year term. Councillor Lang, those in favor? That is carried. That council recommends and we appoint a public trustee to the Rocky Mountain House Municipal Library Board for a 1-year term effective January 1st, 2021. And we have, I'm just looking, we have 2 names. Just double checking, I understand this. Okay, so we have a 1-year term and a 3-year term, and we have 2 names. Probably the easiest way is, yeah, pardon me?
One name, and whoever gets the most is the,
Is the 3-year term?
yeah.
Okay. Is everybody happy with that approach? Okay. All right. Well, while we're waiting for that council appoints 1 councillor and an alternate councillor to the Parkland Regional Library for a 1-year term effective October 27th, 2020. Oh. Arm wrestling, that's okay.
I would be either the alternate or the first one.
I would echo the same thing, so.
Because I was on it the first 2 years and then you were on it last year.
I was on it last year.
Well, I'll be the alternate then.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we have, after a short discussion, we have Councillor Lougheed as the appointment with Councillor Hoven as the alternate to the Parkland Library Board for a 1-year term effective today. And motion made. Those in favor? Okay, so we'll just wait to come back to that. So 6.3.5, that council appoints a councillor and an alternate to the Caroline and District Recreation and Agricultural Society for a 1-year term effective October 27th, 2020. Expressions of interest, I seen Deputy Reeve Vandermeer.
This year coming up. So I will put my name forward to that appointment.
Deputy
And I will
Reeve
be the alternate.
And Councillor Hoven as the alternate. Looking for a motion to that effect. Councillor Swanson makes that motion. All in favor? That is carried. I'll just back up a little bit. So Rocky Mountain House Library trustees.
For council's consideration, the council recommends Mike Stanix as the 3-year member and Karen Melhalf as the 1-year member.
So we have 2 motions. That council recommends Mike Stanix is appointed as the trustee to the Rocky Mountain House and Rocky Mountain House Municipal Library Board for a 1-year term effective January 1st, 2021. Looking for somebody.
Yes, 3 for that.
Nope, I've got them backwards. That is Karen. Correct? Yeah. And you would make that motion, Councillor Duncan? And that council recommends Mike Stanix is appointed as the trustee by the Town of Rocky Mountain House to the Rocky Mountain House Municipal Library Board for a 3-year term effective January 1st, 2021. Looking for somebody to make that motion. Councillor Hoven, those in favor? And the 1-year term for Karen Melhoff. Thank you. I think we got them all. Moving back to 6.3.5, that council appoints a councillor and an alternate to the David Thompson Recreation Board for a one-year term effective today. Do we have anybody who is interested in that? Councillor Lahi?
Yes. As either position or alternate, I know Councillor Swanson had served before.
I would glad to be alternate.
And Councillor Swanson would be interested in the alternate. Okay. I'm looking for a motion to that effect. Councillor Hoven? Those in favor? That is carried. That council appoints a councillor and an alternate, two councillors to the North Saskatchewan Recreation Board for a one-year term effective October 27th, 2020. So Councillor Swanson is interested, and Councillor Duncan. Do we have a motion to that effect? Councillor Hoven? So Councillors Swanson and Duncan to the North Saskatchewan Recreation Board for a one-year term. Motion by Councillor Hoven. Those in favor? That is carried. Now we have two appointments for public at large. And again, I will be recusing myself. My daughter has put her name forward. So Deputy Reeve Vandermeer, perhaps you can walk the team through these.
Thank you. Yes, I'm looking near the bottom of the second page, is that right? Starting with Murray. So we have Murray, Melhoff, Naismith, and Radcliffe. We need two. So for those of those four names, write two names on the.
I would make a motion to put all four names forward.
Yes, thank you. We have a motion for all names being put forward. Thank you. All in favor? Carried. So now to vote on that, we need two names on the ballot. Just a second here. I'm on the wrong.
So we have one member for 1 year and two for 3 year on the same board.
Yes. Yes. So the 3-year terms, we need three names. So the 3-year terms will be served by those with the greatest number of votes, and the third place will have the 1-year term.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is our Reeve there somewhere? I think she can come back. There she is. Just for the one, yeah. Okay, so we're at the Raven Recreation Board. I'll turn it back to you.
All right, thank you. We're looking for 2 councillors to provide appointments and put expressions of interest for the Raven Recreation Board for a 1-year term.
I put my name.
Councillor Hoven. And any other councillors? I can, go ahead, Darren.
I would express an interest as well.
Okay. So we have, are there others? Nope. Okay, that council appoints Councillor Hoven and Councillor Loughy to the Raven Recreation Board for a 1-year term effective October 27th, 2020. Looking for a motion. Councillor Lang. Those in favor? That is carried. Now we have public members at large for the Raven Recreation Board for a 1-year term. And I'm just looking, did we have
We don't have
more
quite
than-
enough.
No, we do. There's the additional sheet.
We've got
on the
one
desk.
additional. We've got 3. So if somebody would like to nominate all 3 to, or approve them,
I would nominate all 3.
okay. So we have a 1-year term and a 3-year term. So I'd say then, how do we want to put 2 names on, and he who has the most votes would get the 3-year, and the next most votes will get the 1-year. That work?
We have 2 for 3-year. 2 for, so the 2 with the most
Yeah.
votes would have
The 3-year.
terms, and then 1 of the least votes has the 1-year.
Thank you for the clarification. Thank you. Then we have that Rocky appoints a councillor and an alternate to the Rocky and District Recreation, Parks and Community Services Board for a 1-year term, effective October 27th, 2020. Do we have any expressions of interest for that? Councillor Duncan? I would go, no, I would be happy to be an alternate for you. And, thank you. So, those in favor? That is carried. All right. Go ahead.
Thank you, Reeve Laird. So the motion for council's consideration that council appoints Neil Ratcliffe as a public member to the Raven Recreation Board for a 1-year term effective November 1st, 2020.
North Saskatchewan.
Yes, and those are not around, yeah.
Oh, sorry,
Those votes are here, we haven't counted those yet.
sorry. That's why I didn't want to get behind.
That's fine.
We're outrunning you, that's okay.
Okay, for the North Saskatchewan Recreation Board.
Okay. Councillor Swanson makes the motion for Neil Radcliffe for the North Saskatchewan Recreation Board for a 1-year term. All in favor? That is carried.
And the motion for council's consideration is that Dustin Naismith and Valerie Murray be considered for the 3-year.
Councillor Duncan makes that motion. Those in favor? That is carried. We're now looking at the Rockian District Recreation Parks and Community Services, and again, I'm going to recuse myself, so I am going to ask Deputy Reeve Vandermeer to take over on these.
Thank you, Reeve Laird. So, are the public members we're considering here, are we back to?
I would be
Okay.
pleased to nominate 3 members that
Yeah,
have submitted their
thank you. That's
applications
fine.
for
Thank
the
you.
Rocky District Report.
Thank you very much, Councillor Duncan. Okay, all in favor? So we need
2 names.
2 names.
And the one with the most votes is then a 3-year term?
Right.
Oh, there's a...
So we're just now collecting the votes for the Rockian District Recreation Community Services Board. And we have 2 names on a ballot.
I can get it, Christine, if you want.
And the one with the most names will have the 3-year term. One with the second most names will have the 1-year term. Thank you.
We do his first.
Okay, do you have something to report there?
I do, Deputy Reeve Vandermeer. So the motion before council for its consideration is that council appoints Brian Murphy as a public member to the Raven Recreation Board for a 1-year term, effective November 1st, 2020.
You
And-
have Reeve Laird come back.
And the 3-year term?
And then it would be Tim Plant.
Two? Oh, no, it says 3. 3-year term.
But 2 names.
Oh, and then it would be Rich.
And Reg Dean.
Thank you. Okay, I'll turn it back.
I was just going to say,
Oh.
to keep it smooth,
Yeah, okay.
just finish this.
I'll ask for a motion to authorize those appointments, please.
I move.
Thank you. Councillor Hoven, all in favor? Thank you. Turn it back to Reeve Laird, please.
So that should bring us up to 6.3.6. We're looking over 2 councillors.
Point of order.
Oh, go ahead.
My apologies. Could I just get the name of the mover for the public member to the Raven Recreation Board for 1 year, and then the name of the mover for the public members to the Raven Rec Board for 3-year terms.
That was Councillor Hoven.
I move both of them.
Thank you.
So we'll come back, and once we get the names for the Rocky and District Recreation. In the meantime, we'll move forward to 6.3. Oh, no, we wait a moment, we'll get that one finished.
Oh, there we go. Finish
I
it
will
right
let Deputy
So
Reeve
which one is
Vandermeer
this now?
finish that.
Okay, so we're looking for the representative for the 3-year term to the Rocky District Rec Parks.
So the recommendation for council's consideration, that council appoints Jennifer Melhaff as a public member to the Rocky and District Recreation Park and Community Services Board for a 1-year term. And Jana Thompson for the 3-year term.
Okay, can I have a motion to that effect for those 2 appointments? Thank you. Councillor Swanson, all in favor? Carried. Turn it back to Reeve Laird.
Thank you for your understanding. So let's try going to 6.3.6. That council appoints a councillor, well, 2 councillors for a 1-year term effective for October 27. I see it's 2020. And this is with regarding to operation management agreement between the town of Rocky Mountain House and Clearwater County, developing policy, rules, regulations for all aspects of operating the airport. This is the airport committee, and I would say off the hop, I've been on it for a couple of years, and I would like to continue on if that's the wishes of council.
You know, I was on it last year, but Councillor Lang, you had opted out last year because of the scheduling conflict, so if you were interested in being on there, you should do it.
Councillor Hoven, you did a wonderful job last year, so if you're interested, I would love it if you let your name stand.
Okay, I would let my name stand then.
All right, so we've got myself and Councillor Hoven on the Rocky Airport Commission effective for a 1-year term, effective October 27th, 2020. Somebody to make a motion to that
I would
effect.
so move.
And those in favor? Councillor Duncan? On the airport? Okay, thank you. That is carried. 6.3.7. We're looking for 2 councillors to help with the senior, or sit on the Senior Housing Council for a 1-year term effective today. Looking for expressions of interest. Councillor Lang? Okay. I have sat on that one for a couple of years, and I'm happy to do that if that is the wishes of council. I can let my name stand. So that would be that council appoints Councillor Lang and Councillor Laird, or Reeve Laird, not used to the title yet, to the Rocky Senior Housing Council for a 1-year term effective October 27th, 2020. Looking for a motion to that effect. Councillor Swanson, those in favor? That is carried. The council appoints a public member to the Rocky Senior Housing Council for a one-year term effective November 1st, and we have 4 names.
I would nominate all the applicants.
All right, Councillor Swanson nominates all names as presented. Those in favor? That is carried. So we get to vote.
Thank you.
So I'm just going to take a moment to ask council if they would like a moment to stretch their legs and get a coffee, or if they want to press on. Keep going?
Yep.
Okay. Agenda item 6.3.8, that council appoints the Reeve and 2 councillors and a third as an alternate to the Intermunicipal Collaboration Framework and Agreements Negotiating Team for a one-year term effective October 27th, 2020. Okay, I see Deputy Reeve Vandermeer is interested. Council.
I'd like to stay on.
Okay. And then an alternate? Okay. Councillor Duncan. So the council appoints the Reeve, Deputy Reeve Vandermeer, Councillor Lang, and Councillor Duncan as the alternate to the Intermunicipal Collaboration Framework and Agreements Negotiating Team, also known as the Negotiating Committee, for a one-year term effective October 27th, 2020. Looking for someone to make a motion to that effect. Councillor Swanson, those in favor? And that is carried. We'll just back up a little bit to 6.3.7. The council appoints a public member to the Rocky Senior Housing.
Recommendation before council is that council appoints Sherry Lynn Black as the public member to the Rocky Senior Housing Council for a one-year term.
And that's effective November 1st, 2020. Somebody would like to make that motion? Councillor Lougheed, those in favor? And that is carried. We're up to 6.4.1. Once again, I will be looking to recuse myself on the public member, but we can start with council appointing a councillor to the Central Alberta Economic Partnership Alliance for a one-year term effective today. And that would be expression of interest by Deputy Reeve Vandermeer. And we were looking for a motion to that effect. Councillor Lang, those in favor? Again, I will be recusing myself. One of the names is my daughter. Deputy Reeve Vandermeer.
Thank you. Okay, we need one name. We have 2 candidates for the position of public member on Cape. Did we put the names? Yes. Councillor Duncan, those both names forward. All in favor? Carried.
All right.
Turning back.
All right, carrying on to agenda item 6.4.2, that council appoints two councillors, one councillor and an alternate to the Clearwater Community Crime Watch Group for a one-year term effective today. Do we have anybody who has a desire to do this?
Oh, Tim?
All right, we've got one and an alternate, so.
I could be
Michelle, do you
the,
want to be an alternate? No. Tim, go ahead if you want.
well, I'll be the alternate.
No, you be it.
Okay.
So we have that council appoints Councillor Tim Hoven and Councillor Teresa Lang as alternate to the Clearwater Community Crime Watch for a one-year term effective October 27th, 2020. I'm looking for a motion to that effect. Thank you. Councillor Swanson, those in favor? That is carried. I'm going to turn it back over to Deputy Reeve Vandermeer to go back to the council appointments. I think we were, pardon me? On
So
K.
the recommendation for council's consideration is that council appoints Tim Plant as public member to the Central Alberta Economic Partnership Alliance for a one-year term effective November 1st, 2020.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to that effect? Councillor Lougheed moves. All in favor? Motion's carried. Thank you. Turning back.
Making sure I haven't missed anything as we carry through. Agenda item 6.4.3. The council looks at two councillors for the Clearwater Regional Family and Community Support Services Board for a one-year term effective today. Do we have anybody who would be interested in that board? Councillor Duncan?
I've been on for a few years now, and I will let my name stand, but if anyone else has any interest, I would be happy to support them.
Councillor Lang. So that council appoints Councillors Duncan and Councillor Lang to the Clearwater Regional Family and Community Support Services Board for a one-year term effective October 27th, 2020. Looking for a motion. Deputy Reeve Vandermeer. Those in favor? That is carried. .4.4. We're looking for a council appointment of a councillor for Community Futures, Central Alberta representative for a one-year term effective today. Do we have expressions of interest?
Okay,
Councillor
so
Lang.
once again, I've been on this for, I guess, 3 years now. If anyone else is interested, I'm willing to step down. There is a bit of a learning curve and some education, but it's a very interesting board.
I'd be interested.
Councillor Hoven. Thank you for the advice, Councillor Lang. So that council appoints Councillor Hoven to the Community Futures Central Alberta representative for a one-year term effective October 27th, 2020. Looking for a motion. Councillor Lang. Those in favor? That is carried. Agenda item 6.4.5. Council appoints a councillor to the Nordic Community Association for a one-year term effective October 27th, 2020. I take it it's more of a liaison, but I suspect that Councillor Lang may have an interest in this. Looking for a motion to that effect. Deputy Reeve Vandermeer. Those in favor? That is carried. Agenda item 6.4.6, council appoints one councillor and an alternate to Clearwater Community Police Advisory Committee for a one-year term, effective today. Expressions of interest? I would be happy to be an alternate.
So I have been on this, and I think they've only met once in the last year, but I am happy to let someone else put their name forward. I know, Tim, you've been on it in the past, and if you're interested, or anyone else, I'd support that.
I'll put my name forward on that.
Deputy Reeve Vandermeer. So that council appoints Deputy Reeve Vandermeer and Reeve Laird to, as an alternate to Clearwater Community Police Advisory Committee for a one-year term, effective October 27th, 2020. Looking for somebody to make that motion. Councillor Lang. Those in favor? That is carried. Council appoints one councillor to the Rimbey RCMP Community Advisory Committee for a one-year term, effective October 27th, 2020.
I have served for the last two, I will let my name stand unless someone, but I will let my name stand.
Councillor Swanson. Looking for a motion to that effect.
I would so move.
Councillor Lougheed. Those in favor? We're looking for a council appointment for a councillor to the Sundre RCMP Community Advisory Committee for a one-year term, effective today. And expressions of interest on that one.
I'd let my
Councillor
name stand for
Hoven.
that one.
And do we have a motion? I'll make that motion. Councillor Swanson, those in favor? That is carried. Councillor appoints one councillor and an alternate to the School Resource Officer Committee for a one-year term, effective October 27th, 2020. I have sat on that, and I don't believe we've ever actually officially got to have a meeting. So, but any expressions of interest?
I've served as an alternate and a member of that one as well. I actually have had a meeting with that one back in the day before. So. We used to meet once a year for, well, anyway, I would, I'll put my name forward as a member there.
Okay.
And I'll be the alternate.
Good. So that council appoints Councillor Duncan and Councillor Hoven as the alternate to the School Resource Officer Committee for a one-year term, effective October 27th, 2020. Looking for somebody to make a motion. Oh.
I would so.
Councillor Lougheed.
I would so.
Thank you. Those in favor? That is carried. Agenda item 6.4.7. We're looking for a councillor to the Rocky Community Learning Council, Board of Directors for a one-year term, effective today. Do we have any expressions of interest?
I would like to remain on that committee.
Councillor Lang. Do we have a motion to that effect? Deputy Reeve Vandermeer. Those in favor? Again, I will be recusing myself when we get to the public members. We're looking for a councillor and an alternate to the Health Professionals Engagement Team for a one-year term, effective today. Historically, that has been myself and Councillor Lougheed. Providing that, I'm happy to continue to do it in either position, but I'm interested to hear if other people would be interested in that as well. It is a committee that is currently transitioning. So, expressions of interest? I can leave,
I would serve as an alternate.
I can leave my name stand and go from there. Okay, so that's myself and then Councillor Lougheed as the alternate to the new name, Health Professionals Engagement Team for a one-year term effective October 27th, 2020. Looking for a motion to that effect. Councillor Swanson, those in favor? And again, I will be recusing myself as my daughter has applied to be a public member.
Thank you. Okay, so the next item is for appointments to the public members for the Health Professional Engagement Team for a 2-year term effective November 1. We have 3 applicants. I have a motion to nominate all 3.
I'll make that
Councillor
motion.
Swanson makes the motion. All in favor? Carried. So we will need to list 2 names for the appointment for 2 years. Okay, the next 2 are a couple of councillor appointments, so Reeve Laird, you can come back and handle these next couple. Museum Board.
All right, we are on agenda number 6.4.9. The council appoints a councillor, I guess 2 councillors to the Rocky Mountain House Museum Operations Board for a 1-year term effective today. Looking for expressions of interest from council.
I know Councillor Lang and I have served on this for the last, and it's been, what, 1 meeting?
Yeah, I don't even remember a meeting in the last year. Like the
Yeah.
year prior we did, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I think this was, one of the staff had,
Staff met.
yeah,
yeah.
so, but we'll still appoint.
I'll put my name.
I'm going to stand back if somebody else would like to.
So we have Councillor Lang so far, and anybody else? Councillor Duncan? I would suggest that the lack of meetings probably has a lot to do with COVID. It's had quite an effect on our world. That council appoints Councillor Lang and Councillor Duncan to the Rocky Mountain House Museum Operations Board for a 1-year term effective October 27th, 2020. Looking for somebody to make that motion. Deputy Reeve Vandermeer. Those in favor? That is carried. Deputy Reeve Vandermeer.
Okay. We have results for the Health Professionals Engagement Team.
So the motion before council, the council appoints Heather Halliday and Jennifer Melhath as public members to the Health Professionals Engagement Team for a 2-year term effective November 1st, 2020.
Thank you. Can I have a motion?
I would so move.
Councillor Lougheed moves the appointment of Halliday and Melhoff as public members to the Health Professional Engagement Team for a 2-year period, 2-year term effective November 1. All in favor? Thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad this chair has wheels. So, okay, we're up to agenda item 6.5.1. We are looking for a councillor and an alternate to the Sundry Forest Products Public Involvement and Round Table for a 1-year term, October 27th, 2020. I don't know who's historically been on that, so.
It's been me,
Okay.
and just, they had a transition with a few jobs and transfers at West Fraser. So they had only one meeting at Christmas last year, and then with COVID, everything else was canceled. So who knows what the time commitment will be this upcoming year.
Okay.
But I would let my name stand as either councillor or alternate.
Okay, and other,
And I would let my name stand as well.
all right, we have.
I will be the alternate then.
Okay, so we have Deputy Reeve Vandermeer and Councillor Hoven as the alternate to the Sundry Forest Products Involvement Roundtable for a one-year term effective October 27th, 2020. Looking for a motion. Councillor Swanson, those in favor? That is carried. We're on to agenda item 6.5.2, that council appoints a councillor and an alternate to the Sundry Petroleum Operators Board of Directors. I believe that's, is that SPOG?
No.
Yeah. Looking for expressions of interest.
I
Councillor
would let my
Hoven.
name stand.
And do we have an alternate? Deputy Reeve Vandermeer. Looking for a motion to that effect. Councillor Lang. Those in favor? And that is carried. And council appoints a councillor or staff to the Sundry Petroleum Operators Group Community Affairs Committee. Historically, has that been council, or have we had staff show any expressions of interest that we're aware of?
It has been staff.
Okay.
Do you remember who?
I guess,
No, I do not know. It's been someone from the community in A.
Historic is the Economic Development Officer, Jerry Pratt.
and would he be willing to provide that service? So that council appoints Jerry Pratt to the Sundry Petroleum Operators Group Community Affairs Committee. Looking for a motion to that effect. Deputy Reeve Vandermeer. All in favor? That is carried. 6.5.3, that council appoints a councillor to the West Central Stakeholder Group for a one-year term effective October 27th, 2020. I'm just completing this year. Prior to that, I believe it was Councillor Hoven. I'm not sure if anybody else has been on that, so any expressions of interest? Because I can stay on it if you like. I'd be happy to do it. All right, looking for a motion to that effect. Councillor Hoven? Those in favor? Carried. 6.6.1, council is looking for one councillor and an alternate to the Bighorn Backcountry Standing Committee and the Clearwater Forest Recreational Trail Initiative for a one-year term effective today.
I would express interest in those.
Okay, Councillor Duncan and an alternate.
I've been an alternate for the last year, but if someone else is interested, that's fine with me.
Okay,
I would like to be an alternate.
and I'm sorry, I didn't,
I would let my name stand as an alternate.
okay, we've got two that have shown, okay.
Sure.
So I've got that council appoints Councillor Duncan and Councillor Swanson as the alternate to the Bighorn Backcountry Standing Committee and Clearwater Forest Recreational Trail Initiative for a one-year term effective October 27th, 2020. I'm looking for a motion to that effect. Councillor Lang, those in favor? That is carried. 6.2.2, that council appoints a councillor to the North Saskatchewan Watershed Alliance Board of Directors and the Headwaters Partnership Steering Committee for a one-year term effective November 1st, 2020. Do we have any expressions of interest?
Sorry, I'm still on that committee. My term will expire, I believe, June of 2021 at the AGM for NSWA there, so.
Okay. So can we get a motion to that effect? Oh, anybody, I guess. We'll go with Councillor Hoven, you're closest there. Those in favor? That is carried. Agenda item 7.1. The council appoints a councillor and an alternate to the Central District 2 Rural Municipalities of Alberta Board of Directors. Do we have any expressions of interest?
It's normally been the Reeve and Deputy Reeve for that.
Yes.
Okay. Do we have a motion to that effect? Okay. Councillor Lang, those in favor? That is carried. 7.2, that council appoints community peace officers, highway patrol officers, Sergeant Terry Miller, Ron McIver, Jason Lucas, and Chad Cumberland, sorry, as 2020-2021 Environmental Protection and Enhancement Act inspectors, investigators for a one-year term effective October 27th, 2020. Looking for a motion to that effect.
I move.
Councillor Hoven. Those in favor? 7.3, council appoints Christine Hager, Director, Emergency and Legislative Services, as Director of Emergency Management for Clearwater County, effective October 27th, 2020. Looking for a motion. Councillor Swanson. Those in favor? That is carried. .4, that council appoints Steve DBN, Regional Fire Chief, Sean St. Peter, Regional Deputy Fire Chief, and Evan Stewart, Assistant Fire Chief, as 2020 and 2021 Fire Guardians for a one-year term effective October 27th, 2020. Motion. Councillor Duncan. Those in favor? All right, 7.5. The council appoints the Reeve and Deputy Reeve to the Central Alberta Mayors and Reeves Committee for a one-year term effective October 27th, 2020. Looking for that motion. Okay, Councillor Swanson. Those in favor? That is carried. Is there anything that we haven't covered? Okay, so we need a motion to destroy the ballots, and that would be Councillor Lang. Those in favor? That is carried.
Motion to adjourn the organizational meeting.
And Councillor Duncan has made a motion to adjourn the organizational meeting. Thank you to all. We are warriors getting through that. All right, thank you. It is 10, I believe, 48. We'll be adjourning this meeting. Those in favor? That is carried.